So House Speaker Mike Johnson, he has a big test coming up. Will he have the gavel in his hands once again? That all comes to a head tomorrow inside the new House of Representatives, a new Congress coming in. So what are his chances and how many votes, how many rounds might it take for him to secure his job once again? Our political panel is here with all of their insights and observations. Chuck Rocha recently served as a senior advisor to Senator Bernie Sanders in his presidential campaigns. Maura Gillespie formerly served as an advisor to both former Speaker John Boehner and former Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Great to have you both here. Maura, we'll begin with you. Speaker Johnson's a Republican. You've worked in Republican House politics over the years. What's your assessment of how this is going to play out?
It would be best for the Republican Party as a whole to get this done in one vote tomorrow. I think it's really important that Mike Johnson has the support of the Republican conference because incoming President Trump would want to have all the political capital he needs to get these first 100 days without any headaches. And I think by wasting the political capital that Republicans had by having had such a big victory this election and wasting it by having this public fight over Speaker doesn't show the American people they made the right choice in choosing Republicans to lead this government and to lead us into the new year. So I think it's really important and to keep it in-house and to keep it to one vote, as Mike Johnson has said to reporters today, that he thinks it'll get done in one vote, and that'll be really impactful for him.
Maura, hang with us. Chuck, here at the table with me. Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader. He'll be watching from across the House floor. What kind of moment is it for him and Democrats as they react and adjust to being the minority, but a narrow one that could be pretty strong?
It's the smallest majority in 100 years, I think I read yesterday. And I think what Democrats are going to do is be like, okay, boys, y'all won. Let's see what you can do. Your first test is, can you elect somebody to lead your own party? So, I mean, I say that with a little fun because they will sit back and say, okay, show us what you can. Show the American people what you can do. The American people absolutely spoke up at the election and said they wanted cheaper gas and groceries. To Maura's point, I don't think they wanted folks who were going to have disarray. They'd like to see this get done in one vote. I don't think they're going to see it done in one vote. You already have one congressman from Kentucky who said he's going to vote no. You can't lose anybody else. And I think he will eventually get there, but I bet it takes a few rounds because some of these members, I think, want an ounce of flesh or something that they particularly would like. Committee assignments, more voice. I will remind everybody that Matt Gaetz was a thorn in everybody's side, and he became Attorney General nominee, then dropped out, then was a congressman and dropped out. Like, he had a lot of notoriety from doing that, and I think a lot of other folks would like that same notoriety.
It's a different kind of House, isn't it, Maura, since you were working with Speaker Boehner in particular?
Very much so. And you're seeing, to Chuck's point, you're seeing members view this opportunity to be, in opposition to Mike Johnson as a place where they could fundraise, get a little bit of attention from the media, get inquiries coming out of those meetings they're having in the Speaker's office, and not speculating to say they will or will not vote for Speaker Johnson tomorrow. They're playing coy because they know it's getting them the attention that they want, without any real plan of how they would actually accomplish something that they're asking and demanding from him. To say that you want to have everything that you want to cut everything, you want to have all these things without recognizing or being honest to the American people of the importance, and with such a slim majority, you can't get everything you want. That's not how this works. You have to work across the aisle. You have to find common ground to take a small step forward, and that's something that my boss, former boss, Speaker John Boehner, would do. He would work across the aisle to get something across the finish line, to take a small step forward for Republican objectives. You just can't get everything that you want all in one fell swoop, and I think that this is going to be important for Speaker Johnson to remind his conference that to get what they want to get accomplished next year done, they have to start with this very basic part of electing a speaker and then setting the agenda going forward. They need everyone in line because they don't have much room to negotiate with.
Chuck, Maura mentioned the possibility of different pieces of legislation getting done in 2025. As a Democrat, when you've heard about the different aspects of the Trump agenda, the Johnson agenda intertwined, is there anything there? I mean, Senator Bernie Sanders, your old boss, has talked about H-1B visas and how he believes they should be calibrated a little bit. What are you hearing as someone who works on immigration issues, knows Senator Bernie Sanders, knows the House Republican agenda? Is there any area of compromise on border or immigration legislation?
I think there is a chance for that, and I would mention it in this way, and I don't know if it's around the border or around immigration, but there are 14 Democrats that are in congressional seats that Donald Trump won. I would start right there. They're looking for a place to compromise. They're looking for a place for common sense. You saw Bernie Sanders a couple weeks ago talk about how he agreed with Kennedy, who's coming in and HHS, saying, look, if you want to get big pharma and big ag out of the ag bill, I'm all in with you. Let's get refined sugar and processed foods out of the mouth of our children. I think there are places there. The border's one of them. I think food, pharma, I think is other parts of this. It's really the point of this whole thing is the majority is so close. Watch those Democrats that are in Donald Trump's seats who are up for re-election, and now less than 2 years of looking for folks like that who could come to a middle ground on separate
Quickly,
issues.
Chuck, who's the front runner now in the DNC race?
I think Ben Wickler today with Senator Schumer coming out is big. He also comes from MoveOn.org. He came up organizing with a lot of us guys that are in our 50s. We're friends with Ben. We think Ben's really got a bright future there.
Chuck knows his Democratic politics. Maura knows her Republican politics. And you both know the other party as well as much as anyone. We really appreciate you coming by. Two regulars here on America Decides.